Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, grade 4. Today we'll take a new unit which is about Microsoft Excel, or we also call it Spreadsheet. Now, before we start Microsoft Excel or Spreadsheet, let us quickly revise what we have finished in last unit. Our last unit was about word processor. Word processor is a program which we use it for writing. And if you remember, I told you the one feature that makes word processor different from the other program is that it uses pages. Now, the program that we'll talk about today is Microsoft Excel. First of all, Excel is a program that is used for mathematical calculations. Mathematical calculation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and it is also used for creating graphs and charts. Other thing is, the one feature that makes Excel or Spreadsheet different from the other program, that it use column and row. It use column and row, and together they are called cell. These are the three main elements or three main parts of a spreadsheet. There are other features of a spreadsheet also, like we have worksheets, we have workbooks, and we have cell address. And the most important part of spreadsheet is formulas, because like I said, we use it for calculation. So to calculate, we use formulas. These are some of the formulas that we use in spreadsheet, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Details of formula we'll take in another lesson. Today let's talk about the different parts of spreadsheet. These are the 5 main parts of the spreadsheet. I want each one of you to remember these parts like you know your name. The first one is a cell, a column, a row, a cell address, and formula bar. There are other features also, like formulas, like title bar, like menu bar, okay, but we'll discuss them in detail after that. So the first topic of our lesson today is how to open a spreadsheet. Like I said, the program that we use for the spreadsheet or calculation is called Microsoft Excel. So in order to open that, you can go to your start menu, write Excel, and here you can open like this. Now this is a spreadsheet or Excel program. Now let's talk in detail about the different parts of spreadsheet. The first one is the title bar. As you all know, in word processor we talked about different parts. So the first 3 parts of spreadsheet are same as word processor. The first one, which is title bar, where we see the name of the program and name of the file. The second one is the menu bar, or we also call it tabs or ribbons. Then the third one is groups. These are groups: clipboard, font, alignment, number, style, and so on. These are called group. Each tab has different groups, or each menu bar has different groups, or we also call it ribbons. Together we call them ribbon, like insert ribbon. In insert ribbon we have tables, we have its illustration, we have charts, and so on. The next part of spreadsheet, which I already talked about, is formula bar. Now you all might ask me, what is a formula bar? A formula bar is basically a place, an area where we see what we wrote in this cell. As you see here, these are columns, the vertical ones. We already studied in word processor in our last lesson that columns are the vertical line and the rows are the horizontal line. In spreadsheet, they are automatically labeled. The columns are labeled ABC and the rows are labeled 1, 2, 3. And each column and row together makes a cell like this one. Right now I can see the cell address. Cell address means its location and its name. At the moment I'm in cell G5, column G, row 5. Now we were talking about cell address. Cell address is basically whatever I wrote in spreadsheet or in a cell, because remember in a spreadsheet we write in cells. So whatever I write in any cell, I can see it in the formula bar, or I can click anywhere and I can write in the formula bar sum. Okay, if I go to next, if I want to go to next, just press enter or tab key. Addition, okay, subtraction, and so on. Now as you see here, when I write subtraction, it went over the cell. So to fix that, just like in word processor, we can adjust the height and width of the column, the width of the column and the height of the row. Detail of these height and editing cell we'll talk in another lesson. For now, just stick to cell and the formula bar. Whatever we write in the cell, we can see it in formula bar. If I want to edit, I can just click in the formula bar and write subtraction formula. Okay, this is another part of spreadsheet. Next part is active cell. Active cell means the cell which I'm currently working on. Like here the active cell is F7. From its cell address I can tell the active cell is cell address. And this rectangle with thick border, it will tell us that at the moment I'm in this cell. The other part is worksheet. Worksheet is basically what? It is the combination of rows and columns and cell. Together this table, these cells and columns and row, they make a sheet, or we call it worksheet. Okay. Now by default, every Excel program has 3 worksheets. You can see them here: 1, worksheet 2, worksheet 3. We can edit them by renaming them. We can remove, we can delete, or we can insert a new worksheet also if I want to work on more than one sheet. But this will carry on in another lesson. For now, a word processor, spreadsheet or Excel has 3 worksheets by default, and together these 3 worksheets, we call it workbook. We call it what? Workbook. What is workbook? The combination of 3 sheets in a spreadsheet. Okay, so remember, a workbook is a combination of 3 sheets, 1, 2, 3. By default we have 3 sheets. Next we have a worksheet bar, which I already showed you here. Worksheet bar, it shows us to go to next row, next column, okay, last sheet, first sheet, and so on, and it has a scroll bar. Okay, this is an icon in which we can insert a new sheet. As you can see here, we have a shortcut key for it also, but like I said, we'll talk about these sheets in detail in another lesson. So all together for today's lesson, we talked about what? We talked about the 7 parts or the 7 features of spreadsheet. The first one was title bar. The second, tabs or menu. The third one, ribbons or group. The fourth one, it was formula bar. The fifth is cell, active cell. The sixth, worksheet. Again remember, by default there are 3 worksheets in a spreadsheet. And finally we talked about the worksheet bar. So that wraps up our today's lesson. I hope you understood. For the homework, I want you all to create a table in your spreadsheet like this. You give a title, you give headings, and you put this information. Okay, please take a picture or send me this file through the school website, and your homework will be a worksheet which you will find in the school